Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. If you want to protect your home against fall invaders, those insects that crawl in for the cold months, call Southeast Termite and Pest Control today. Or if you have squirrels, rats, raccoons, any other wildlife that's breaking into your home, needs to be captured or removed, well, call Southeast Termite and Pest Control today. They do great work, locally owned, family owned company. All right. Want to welcome in the last two members of our panel today. Down there, two more VFLs join us. Daniel Hood, Sterling Hinton back with us, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, baby.
All right, as I said, normally we'll be judging 3 players up, 3 players down, and this will be kind of the way it works. You guys will be the Willie Rain. You're on Willie Raincloud's team. You'll be down there on Sunshine Sterling's team. You're the positive, you're the negative. But today, since it's the first game, I wanted to talk about the position groups we haven't already covered. We talked corners and quarterbacks. Let's start offensive line. I want to know stock up or stock down. Sterling, I'll leave you. You're the only one, I think, that would try to spin this as a positive stock up for the offensive line. Let's see how you do it.
Well, I really think it is a spin up because once I've seen plays yesterday when they came together and were in unison and stepped right in as a core, they look good. I mean, those holes Jordan ran through, somebody made them. Somebody made them. I mean, and when they got it together in the pass game to make Garantano, to give Garantano help to make those pinpointed passes, the line did it. So I think we can build on that.
Trey Smith does a great job, but it didn't look like the inside of that when guys are coming back into the quarterback's lap and the running back's having to adjust outside. I just don't see how you can see that.
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I mean, that was the first quarter. I mean,
Let's move on to running backs. Tim Jordan, huge day, no question. 20 carries, 118 yards, average 6 yards a carry. Your thoughts on Jordan, who replaced Ty Chandler, who went out hurt? I thought Jordan hit the hole faster, and I thought that made the offensive line look a little better.
Oh yeah, he was hitting the hole. He was actually making his own holes at times. So with our running back situation, our stock is definitely up. We have some dogs back there. Even number 31 got in a couple times. He has a little bit of juice behind him too. The only critique I could see, they need to run a little bit behind the shoulder pads a little bit more because when we get to the SEC safeties and the SEC linebackers, we'll take advantage of that.
Well, that's another thing. You look at that was not an SEC caliber defense yesterday from West Virginia, unless they've really improved this year. And my guess is they haven't improved that much. Wide receivers. Sterling, you used to cover them, you used to throw to them. Your thoughts on the receivers? Callaway, 7 catches, 85 yards. But Jennings only 2 for 29. You need more out of him.
I think I'd like to see more out of Jennings. I like to see my boy Quezzy make a little more rack after the catch. I think he did some things that looked promising, a little more rack out of the catch from Quezzy. But I tell you, I like to see out of the entire core is a little more precise route running. There was a couple of times when, and I wasn't at the game personally, but I saw the fan shot from the camera on TV, and a couple of times, a couple of the cuts had a little more, too much rounding off into it to where the DB was able to come up under, and the quarterback couldn't get an alley to throw the ball. And I like to see more ISO on the strong safety when you get them one-on-one. I like to get the option route coming flat across to get inside that window so the quarterback can have that target. So I think they're going to work on that. I look forward to Coach Johnson coaching the boys up on that.
That was an epiphany. I've been waiting 10 years for that. That was off-camera Sterling you just got there. That's the Sterling we know off-camera. Hell yeah! Great job. Ryan, your thoughts on the wide receivers?
Yeah, Sterling was giving some knowledge there. He was right about they could have did a little better with their route running, a little bit more precise, cleaner out the cuts. But overall, I think we need to get the ball into our playmakers' hands. Jauan Jennings, he had 2 catches you mentioned. I think the coaches need to do a better job of getting one of their playmakers the ball. Okay,
very good. Let's talk defensive line. Daniel, Will, you guys both played it. Tuttle West Virginia dropped back 34 times. In terms of pressure, and this counts to your outside linebackers as well, but in terms of pressure, you had 3 hurries, 2 sacks. 1 from Tuttle, 2 hurries from Kyle Phillips, 1 hurry from Daniel Taylor. That's it, in 34 pass attempts. Thoughts on the D-line?
I think Alexis Johnson and Tuttle were able to get some push on the inside to break down the pocket. I thought your outside guys were glued onto their offensive linemen, and they were not getting much pressure. The only pressure they really got on blitzes. And when Tuttle and those guys pushed him out and he rounded out, they were able to get some pressure then.
When I was watching, I just didn't feel like they ever got really to that second level of football. It's like we know our pass rush reigns. We got to, I've got to be a tackle here and I got to go to my E-gap over here. But you've never really seen them, make smart moves to undercut a block when you need to get to that point faster when we're bringing those corner blitzes. I didn't see anyone make that next step to get over the top. And then in the run game, there's a couple times that I just felt like we were just getting pushed back too far, and I think Will hit it with the ends. Those guys have got to do more. And I mean, I know you were going against 2 tackles that were really good, 44 starts between them now, but still, you got to do more.
The SEC doesn't have any worse tackles.
Right.
You know, they're
All right,
gonna be
quickly,
out
we
there
won't cover
next.
this, but linebackers, Darren Kirkland Jr., 10 tackles, Batuli, 5 tackles. Kongbo, who was a team captain yesterday, 1 assisted tackle. Okay, it may be time to stop expecting the epiphany we got from Sterling.
Right.
But we'll see. It's a long season, but I was not impressed with the linebackers. Finally, though, special teams, coverage was kind of a wash. Kicker, you didn't really use your kicker a lot. I thought Joe Doyle had his moments as a punter, though. He had a couple of good punts. Hang time. His average was 38, but he had a couple of 44s and also had some good hang time. Your thoughts, Daniel, on special teams?
I loved it. From watching them in the spring, it was awful. I mean, we were watching extra points, and it was like you were kind of struggling to see if they were going to make those. Coming into the game today, I was actually able to sit in the south end zone. There was 3 or 4, and we got a lot of kick returns. But there's 3 or 4 of them. If our returner would have just trusted the coaching and just hit the hole instead of trying to do your own thing, well, I see this over here. If he would have hit it, Tennessee should have put up 200 yards of kick return yards on this team. And so I was really impressed with what Coach Pruitt did to get them in a successful situation.
All right, very good. Nice job, guys. This will be. I look forward to being nice and mean to individual players and coaches, and I'm sure Sterling does as well. Our media guys are back with us. We talked Jeremy Pruitt, we talked play calling, we had a lot to cover in this next segment. Come on back.